What is going on, Hangar Bay Community? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the longest running show on YouTube, probably. We've got some special friends here today. Jake James Lugo, Ox Holocrons, Ghost Rider, Charlie. How you boys doing today?
Hello there. How's it going, peeps?
Interesting week for Star Wars. Hearing that the Book of Boba Fett apparently has such gnarly story elements that they could only show stuff from the first half of the first episode, dude. Good. What are you guys thinking about this?
Good.
Dude just keeps doubling and tripling down. I heard today or yesterday that he said every episode has a Luke Skywalker level surprise. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's scary.
Outrageous.
Is it though? Is it? I mean, he's from the Favloni camp, so
maybe the hype's real.
If they can make me feel like how I did at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, like that every episode or every other episode, I'll even give them like that. I'm a happy man. That's all I need. I need to have fun with Star Wars when I watch it. Like I want to have fun when I'm seeing these things happen. Even if I don't like the story elements, I'm still gonna have fun watching it. That's what I want.
Right.
I mean, Star Wars is about hope. So as long as we got that, we're good to go.
Well, I'm hoping that they don't overdo it with cameos, and then the entire fan base reacts with the whole, "Oh, this is just another big fat, cameo dump and nothing else, no substance to the story, if you will."
I don't think they would do that. He doesn't. Rodriguez doesn't strike me as the kind of director that would do something like that.
I think after Mando, from what we've seen from the first 2 seasons, I think they got enough of a track record at least to show us, to at least have enough faith in them to be like, okay, what they're bringing to the table, if they're talking a big game, they might have something to back it up.
Every single one of them. Every single one of them has. I have faith in every single one of them. Rodriguez, Deborah Chow, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, every single one. I have faith in them.
Keep in mind, too, that also, if this ends up being dope, like this whole show ends up being phenomenal, this only is going to make us more excited for Kenobi. Like I just have a strong feeling like we're getting some really cool stuff that's going to be really exciting.
Remember, Tamori Morrison, you're going to see him do a lot of snapping of necks and doing awesome stuff, and we're only about a week or so away.
Yeah,
so,
dude.
hype!
10 days. 10 days away
It's
from
coming.
it.
Super hype.
I wouldn't mind watching him smash people's skulls with the gaffy stick.
Dude,
Something
you remember in Rogue One, they finally started like actually breaking stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't remember his Chirrut.
Yeah, those little dudes going outside the post. It's like, hey man, you get that new armor upgrade we got. Oh god, just it's get destroyed.
And dude, like, there's dust coming off, and like pieces of the helmets are flying off when he's hitting them and stuff. That's what I'd love to see something like that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean when Boba showed up in Mando, and he's just like wrecking house, and he smashed like one stormtrooper, and you just see chips from the helmet flying across the screen.
Dude, you know what it just came into my head? It'd be dope if he shatters one of those red shields.
Ooh,
oh yes,
I can just
careful what you ask, man.
One of those.
Don't think about stuff like that.
That would be awesome.
Just
I
with
just want it to
this
make sense when it happens.
Yeah, dude,
Just
whatever. Overpower.
I'm cool with that, man. But I mean, I'm wondering about the implications of this show. If they're saying we can only show the first half of the first episode, otherwise it gives too much away. Like, bro, I was thinking 100% we were going to be on Tatooine the whole time. Now,
yeah, me too. I thought the same thing.
Well, Charlie, didn't you have an awesome interview recently?
Yes, I did.
I saw that.
Which one?
Thanks, man. It was cool.
Wen.
I got to upload part 2 of it. I was just added on for like 1, but she wanted to talk more, so GalaxyCon send me the rest of my thing after that. But yeah, should be uploaded like tomorrow. They got to resend it through like email and everything. But
tell me
people
here in the Hangar Bay about what you're talking about.
Okay, so first just fanboying out, seeing and everything like that. She looks good for her age. That I was like, look, what's it like working with Tamori Morrison? And she said, along the lines of he's a amazing, awesome guy and everything like that. John, Dave, Robert, they're like my band of brothers. And go back and look at it. And but like the second part, I asked her, I was like, look, I heard you had like when you landed Mandalorian, that you had like a Luke Skywalker twin sons moment. She was like, yeah, there was when she was on Tatooine in Mandalorian season 1. Remember when like it looked like she was dead for a while, or supposedly until someone started walking up. She demanded like a hey, one of her friends, can you do like a CGI thing looking that way or whatever, so it could like mirror like a Luke's thing, because they were on Tatooine. And she did it, and a little thing like that, and she was just like, yeah, that's when I knew book, and kind of stopped there. And she's like, oh, it's been out now anyway. So back then she knew it then, or like people knew it back then. It was kind of confirmed or whatever. So like, yeah, it's a cool thing. Like I said, when I get it tomorrow, I'll upload it. It's awesome. She's amazingly kind and looks great for her age.
I look forward to it. She strikes me as such a Star Wars nerd. Just the way she talks about this stuff, like
you can tell how she didn't want to spoil it. Like you can tell she's still trying not to spoil it, and it's been out for how long?
Well, I mean, when people enjoy the projects that they're working on or that they're in, they go out of their way to make sure they don't spoil it for the viewers, And
it shows in the content, most importantly, dude.
For sure.
I mean,
the Henry Cavills of the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of
2 is out, if anybody didn't know. Witcher season.
That's why I brought it up.
Son, I binged it first day.
Are you serious?
Oh yes, Witcher.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 8.
There is a thing at the very end of the last episode that's a trailer for another thing coming.
I'm glad you told me. Thanks, man.
Yeah, just stay after the credits, or like zoom past the credits. You'll see. You'll immediately see what it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yo, Charlie, I totally forgot that Mingwan was in Street Fighter until I watched it. I was like, yo.
I know. I didn't want to be the guy that was just talking about nothing but Star Wars and everything. So I was like, I'm an IDMB checking everything like that. I was like, okay, let's see here. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh yeah, she was in that. Wait, what? Wait, yeah, like Mulan, Street Fighter. Who was she in that? Chun-Li. Whoa, what? So.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome, man. Yeah, it was just a delight to talk to her and everything, man.
Yo, for
Such a nice
years I didn't know that, and when I found out I had the same reaction, I flipped out. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
Yeah.
you've been in so much cool shit.
Yeah, dude, she's been in a bunch, and that's why I still, to this day, I'm telling you, I think Mace is gonna come back in Book of Boba, dude. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
If that
Is there?
happens, I'll
Yeah,
buy a
you
bottle
know
of
what,
wine
X-Wing?
and
Is there a reason why you're rocking purple behind you?
Mm,
You preparing for that?
he's
I think
waiting.
he's that's X-Wing
He's putting it out into the universe.
crossing his fingers.
My God, and that's the reason you have our things lined up is purple. You've been planning this the
You want
entire
that Stan
time.
Jackson.
You gotta put out the energy you want in the universe, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm
You're trying to manifest it, are you?
exactly. Yes. Give me that Mace, bro. And if they're
Dude,
saying,
what if they did that? What if
That's
they just
what they're saying.
linked up him and Kenobi in the galaxy somewhere?
if they're saying there's a Luke moment in every single one of these episodes, I'm gonna be pissed if we don't see Mace Windu.
I assume it's going to be like the rogues gallery of
like
bounty hunters. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
Like good bounty hunters, like people we
Yeah.
know that we haven't seen like fleshed out, but would be like,
Boss.
oh, that's dope that they're in there.
I want Boss so
yeah,
bad.
Boss or Dengar.
So bad.
I want Hangar.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
what about IG-88? Like an actual IG-88?
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I want the Boss from Visions. The
Mm.
one from the black and white Visions. That Boss was sick.
Yes, Hawks. Yes.
Dude, he was so agile. Like, give me like a lizard. Like
Wait, you're talking about the Trandoshan that got skewered by the
Bro,
umbrella?
I want him to be like Randall from Monsters Inc. crawling on the walls, crawling on the walls, and
Camouflaging into stuff.
Like
yes.
really
I mean-
reptilian.
Yes.
I know Trandoshans can regenerate, but I think that guy is like diced, bro.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What up, Mandalorian? How you doing, brother? Glad to have you here. Yeah, I think. Oh, here's an interesting question. Do you think we could see Force Ghost Obi-Wan talking to Mace?
No, honestly, no.
Doesn't make sense to me, really.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Let me think.
He doesn't know
I
how to
don't-
communicate with the dead because remember, Yoda and Qui-Gon were only the real ones that knew how to do that from the Republic.
Man, you know
They're
he's
the
in the
only ones.
afterlife
It was
mad
really
at that.
Qui-Gon that taught Yoda.
We don't hear Mace in the last Roys of Soy Walker, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Mm.
Yeah, we do.
You hear
You get
Mace?
that reference,
Yeah, you
but
hear Mace.
I like what you did there, so tip of the hat.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't remember that. So we hear Luke, Obi,
Ahsoka.
Qui-Gon, Ahsoka, Mace,
Some weird voices in there.
and then maybe it wasn't Kanan Jarrus in there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
maybe.
Caleb
I don't
Dune
know.
was.
Caleb was, yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I
It
think
was
it'd be cooler if we got Mace for him just to focus on Boba specifically. You know what I mean? I don't really want to see Mace with another Force user again.
Yeah, he might still be a little bitter. And again, it goes back to the whole Shatterpoint thing and his link to the Jedi and everything. He'd be a little bit more off hinges. So it'd be very interesting to see like him, what's right, wrong, and all that sort of morality and stuff like that. There's so many things you can pull on that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would not be opposed to seeing that, good sir.
Dark Mace though.
You see, all this is like really exciting though, like the theorizing and just like right on the precipice of it coming out and stuff. This is what I like to see, or this is what I like to feel like when it comes to a new Star Wars thing, because we're all like, giddy about it. Just the possibilities, especially if they're talking that big about what the show's going to be.
Oh, too bad Obsession isn't here, man. We need the slap. Somebody's got to queue up the slap for this baby coming here. All right. Can't wait for Boba watching The Witcher now. Thank you again, Charlie. Please share with X-Wing and make him jealous. Now away.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's
Kill
funny.
them! Kill them
That is
all! I mean,
hilarious.
what? Okay, yeah.
Stick in the head. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate that. And I am
Yeah.
proudly displaying my Christmas present on my wall here. Can't show it on stream, but I really appreciate it.
Ah,
Gotcha.
There's a Leia with Jabba Sans slave outfit that I was sent for Christmas.
sounds like fine art.
Yeah, you got that's good taste. That's good taste.
I'd show it, but YouTube or
Yeah,
whatever.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Hang on.
This is an interesting topic and something I think, like, for me, this is one of those things where, like, if you make everybody a Force ghost, it loses that factor. I don't know how you describe it, you know?
Unless
the only thing I don't understand was, okay, so you had to do the training in order to commune with one who has returned from the nether realm of the Force, correct?
Yeah.
So how did they communicate with Luke?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, through Obi-Wan and them. Yeah, when that makes sense, because Obi-Wan's the first one that talks to Luke like that from Empire.
Yeah, I'll do the abridged version. So if you weren't good friends with Qui-Gon Jinn, so yeah, that wouldn't go well. But no, so literally, okay. Qui-Gon before Phantom Menace was in, talking to the people, not the Wills. I'm thinking about the Hall Bay special. It's still looming on me. But that's a deep cut. But no, the people who taught Qui-Gon. So when he went there on the season 6 of Clone Wars, they knew all about that. He didn't complete his training, so he could only appear as like a light. Until, however, he did do more training at the very end of a book called A Certain Point of View, which Sam Witwer does narrate in audio. Highly recommend it. He does materialize by A New Hope. So at the very ending of when I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father, that right before that moment, Qui-Gon pops up as literally he's watching it. He's literally watching the last time, where he's going to go off to the spaceport and everything. That's the last time you'll see him, because he does like a little monologue of, Qui-Gon, it's been nice knowing I haven't been alone on Tatooine all these years, and I finally get back to the light. And Qui-Gon, since being on the outside, he can kind of see future, past, present, and everything like that. Dude, look it up. It's amazing, or listen to it at least.
That concretes that we're not going to get Force Ghost.
So whenever Obi-Wan gets, and he has to go through the same thing, and then you see him in, Empire. Luke must go to dig up the system and everything, and all that sort of shenanigans. Now when Anakin emerges from Vader, when he's lying there on the thing, you help me take my mask off. He learns it from Obi-Wan.
Yeah, in like 7 seconds.
Because he bought Balance of the Force, and he had like very few limited bit of time to do this. So after that, you got Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Qui-Gon Jinn is there technically.
The whole teacher-student lineage.
Right.
Yeah, so it could be done. You just have to talk to like someone through the whole thing. You have to Force Skype someone. Long story short.
Oh God! Please don't mention that.
Force Skype. Okay.
Force Skype for Zoom.
I wonder how early. I wonder, like, once you have that in your bag, how early in training it's passed down. Because I wonder if Luke and Leia both learned it early on. Because I'm still, that's another thing from the sequels, right? So how did Luke train her? Did he know how to do it at that moment when he was younger, when he was a master? I don't know.
I think that there's a lot of shenanigans with that, especially when you get into the sequel trilogy stuff, since things are so contradictory to what canon might be and like what the physics are of the Force and the universe and stuff. I think that if we're looking for excuses and we're looking for reasoning with that, there's that gap in time between 6 and 9, or 6 and 7, or 6 and 8, whatever have you, where they could have learned that type of stuff. I just think that it's better than just unexplained. It's just like, okay, fine. This kind of doesn't make any sense in the grand scheme of stuff, but whatever. It might have happened sometime.
Well, I mean, my thing was like with Luke, because you don't see him ever, like you don't ever see Obi-Wan teaching Luke, but I guess that near-death experience on Hoth, where he's like, go to the Dagobah system, would kind of count.
Well, not teaching him that. I mean, we see him teaching him like in A New Hope, but like not like that type of stuff in that way. I mean, and again, it's one of those like logic things that just is like a plot hole almost when you really think about it in the grand scheme of Star Wars as an entire saga. But I always looked at it in a way where it's like I never liked the idea of the Force being sentient, or in the way that it kind of like ebbs and flows. I like it as just kind of like an inanimate type of like thing, kind of like how water is. It's just a thing, but it flows in certain ways, or it acts and reacts in certain ways. That's how I always thought about the Force. And I felt like with certain actions, with like how the Jedi were compared to how the Sith were and stuff, that kind of dictated how certain things like that could happen, as opposed to being much more explanational and scientific in a sense, more abstract. If that makes sense.
Interesting.
Chlorians then.
Yeah, right. Well,
yeah, I was gonna say they break it down pretty scientifically when they.
Yeah, I won't do a whole thing on it, but also, be water, my friend. Now, right? No, the thing about the Force Ghost really fast again. Sam Witwer he knows everything, regardless. He did it back in hell year 2020. They did like an anniversary whenever Empire came up. He did a watch party on Star Wars, like their official thing with a bunch of people, and like he did commentary. They got to the point where Luke, oh god, and everything like that. Luke, wake up and everything, and he looked straight out there and he's like, you ever notice how George Lucas made the more closer Luke got to his connection with the Force, the more he could see Obi-Wan or Ben Kenobi? And like people on that kind of pause, like, wait, what? Like, yeah, think about it. Yeah. The more like in touch and everything like he got with the Force, he could see more better. It wasn't about Obi-Wan at the time. It was about what the person could see, or Luke the Force. Yeah. And by the time of Return of the Jedi, he could literally just come sit down on like an invisible log.
Yeah, see his dad, Yoda, see everybody hanging out.
Yeah. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, hope that answers. That's a longer bridge version.
It's just it sounds kind of along the same lines of that. What was that? The Ninth Jedi on
Visions.
Visions, yeah. Where with the saber, the stronger your connection with your Force, the more solid the color on the saber.
I thought it was the alignment. The color was the alignment.
You know what else just kind of?
It from what they explained, it's the more transparent the saber is, the weaker your connection is with the Force. But your alignment also determines the color.
Which is how it used to be, right?
No.
Well, no.
I don't think it was ever like that at all. It was always that it was originally blue and red, and then green was just kind of happenstance. But then in universe, and like extended universe, they explain it as like, okay, that was a Jedi Master color.
So
yes.
Okay, so I actually do know this. All right, so originally it was just blue and red, but then in Return of the Jedi, they couldn't see Luke Skywalker's saber against the sky, so they changed it to green. And then they explained it away, saying, "Oh, well, he built a new saber, so it's a new color." Then we got stuff like, what was it, KOTOR, in which you had, and then they brought out the yellow sabers as well, and that's where we got the Guardians, Sentinels, and
Counselors.
The Counselors. Yeah, and each one, the saber represented a different, type of Jedi. And then
it was onto the stones.
Yeah. And then it went on to the stones. Yeah, the kyber crystals actually, it depends on the color your crystal is, and the crystal. It was still, you had to go find your crystal, and the crystal is like connected through the Force.
Yeah,
and it did call you, like they show in what was it, Clone Wars?
Yeah,
Fallen Order too.
Yeah,
Fallen Order. Yes, but it was like that, but the crystal's color was also determined by your particular.
Yeah, I thought green was your physicality in the Force, and blue was a more mental connection with the Force.
Right. Yeah,
that was supposed to be like blue was Knight, and then like obviously yellow was Sentinel, and then I think green was Master.
I've heard multiple descriptions.
Yeah,
originally, and then they changed it up depending on whatever crystal you found, and that just happened to be your color. But typically, yellow, like those who joined the Sentinels, would typically find stuff along more like the yellow part of the light spectrum, whereas the others would find green or blue or whatever, or orange, which is actually my favorite color.
You know something? I like more of the simpler explanations of stuff like that than what now, as we get to more of the Disney owned stuff where they try to overcomplicate things. Like just instead of the kyber crystals being sentient or the kyber crystals being like, something where it kind of like chooses something for the user, I like the idea of like, okay, you have a certain connection to the force, you have a certain discipline and stuff, and you go choose your crystal. I just find that tends to be a little bit more personable, and a little bit more interesting than just trying to like overcomplicate stuff.
Well, they don't want to. That's the thing, though. They don't want to take any power away from the force. Like the force is the ultimate, like, end all, be all. So they do have that sentience, like the saber calls to you, that kind of thing. But
it's like,
yeah, no, I
Harry
respect
Potter.
that.
It's weird. Like it just feels like it.
Harry Potter. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they do that in the Ahsoka book too. When the Inquisitor comes, she can hear the crystals singing the same song.
Yes,
Dude, and it adds that extra dynamic when a Sith has to change the saber and they have to pour their emotion into it and literally torture the crystal to the point where it can't hold on to that pain anymore.
I was never a fan of that, to be honest. I like the idea of the
I thought
Sith
that was
making
cool.
artificial crystals, like when they go through that meditation and making their crystal.
Dude,
I always thought that was so much more badass.
That is so dope, dude.
Yeah. Like it just sounded much more interesting to me and a little bit different, obviously, compared to the Jedi. But like the idea that you have to create your own crystal, you have to go through all this stuff while you're doing your Sith meditation. It just sounds much more interesting and dope compared to like, again, putting the emotions in the crystal.
I think it would be cool if they kind of split the difference and was like the Sith still had to go and find a Jedi and kill him and take their saber, but they had to also make their own crystal, that their own synthetic crystal, and then replace the Jedi's crystal with their crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me that sounds more cooler.
Yeah, I like both. I like both aspects of it. I like in the old awesome thing we had synthetic bloodshine crystals.
I know.
Some of which, if they were strong enough, they would just cut through the entire thing. The regular, you would just go out and get like a certain kyber crystal for a Jedi or anything like that. Now we got the bleeding of the kyber crystal, which is a ridiculously awesome storyline of Vader's, which I love.
I love that, man. Bleeding
Dude,
it is pretty cool.
Sick, just corrupting it.
Dude, the artwork on that as well, man. Like seeing like the flashbacks of his whole entire life and just what someone would have to do that.
Into the crystal, yeah.
The Obi-Wan, the reverse Obi-Wan on Mustafar scene. Have you guys seen that?
Reverse Obi-Wan on
dude,
Mustafar.
Charles Soule.
It looks cool.
Dude, okay, picture this. It's Anakin, and it might not be the same moment, but it's like this whole comic with Vader that Charles Soule did is ridiculous. So it's like a reverse in Vader's head of Mustafar. So he defeats Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan is literally burning on the beach, and he's about to say "I love you," and he just turns into ash.
Yep,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Heavy dope, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I love that.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Sidebar. I did want to get into. Jake had said this is something he wanted to talk about. The reception of Eclipse, and I think it's interesting that I apparently find myself on the other side of the fence for once. I'm like super hyped for it.
I just recently started to see some negativity.
So should I explain it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think most people, especially after seeing the Game Awards, as I've seen the trailer for Star Wars Eclipse, a lot of people are excited about it. It's a new Star Wars game. Even though it takes place in the High Republic era, I think that a lot of people, just not even knowing it was in the High Republic era until somebody said it, was pretty excited because it looked dope. Yeah. Like, it really did. Here's the thing. The majority of people, especially on social media lately, they have this whole thing with the blackout, like pretty much a boycott of Star Wars Eclipse. And it's the main reason being is because of over at Quantic Dream, it's run by David Cage. Anybody that doesn't know that David Cage is, he's the guy that runs Quantic Dream, and he's responsible, or one of the people responsible for games like Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, Detroit Become Human, and other games that studio has kind of worked on and stuff. But those are the big main three. And that's why a lot of people are excited about it. However, with much of the stuff that has been happening with Quantic Dream, specifically about David Cage, there was a couple court cases and stuff where he got called out for doing certain things involving, saying messed up stuff to employees, having a quote unquote toxic work culture and all this other stuff. The reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I feel very split on it, and I've seen a lot of other people split on it because I'm excited about the game. I'm excited to play a new Star Wars game. I'm excited to see what it has to offer, especially what they showed. in that trailer because it looks interesting. But I understand where people are coming from, where a lot of people don't like what this guy allegedly said. We have to say allegedly because, you know, there's a lot of contradictory info that's out there about
right. And the lawsuits were, I mean, they happened. The defamation lawsuits came through, and he was
they
let
won
off
a couple. They didn't win everything, but they won a couple.
And beyond that, as far as I know, Cage is actually not heading up this project because he's part of a different division, and this game's coming from Montreal.
Here's my point, though, with that. This is my point with this, is that when you can even see the same thing going on with Call of Duty right now. You know, studios are massive. And I know this, and I could say this, I'm one of the few people within the Star Wars scene with us here that has experience talking to developers and interacting with publishers and companies, and even interacting with Quantic Dream, because at PSX, I got to go see Detroit Become Human before the public did. And so I got to play it and interact with people at Quantic Dream and stuff at PSX. So I know that there's a lot of people that work at studios. So with the actions of one person, whether it's good or bad or whatever else, that shouldn't represent the entire studio. If people are pissed off at David Cage, they should be pissed off at David Cage. And, you know, whatever comes with that should happen, whatever courts, whatever. I don't think that same type of like ire from the different people should be applied to the rest of the developers in the studio that are working on this game, because they have nothing to do with that. They're constantly just working their butts off to make this dope game for us. I even give you an example that's relevant to this. During the Game Awards, because everybody was upset at Activision, and justifiably so with all the stuff that's going on in the news. A friend of mine named Alexa Ray Correa actually was one of the people that helped launch Call of Duty Vanguard. Her and a lot of the other developers and other people that are involved in that studio had nothing to do with what's going on with the stuff going on with Bobby Kotick and all that stuff, but they still have to face the same nonsense and the same ire from everybody on social media. And I personally think that's unfair. I think that's messed up. If that makes any sense. It's just, I feel like that's a little bit unfair to people like trying to boycott or trying to throw a mud at Star Wars Eclipse over this one thing that is over here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of the High Republic, but, you know, I always, you know, try it once, see how you like it, then judge, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So dude, the same. I'll back that up 1,000%. I've said it before. I said it again. I think last Hangar Bay, we had a fun little time. It was look, I tried to get into the High Republic books. I didn't want to be one of those guys. I don't know. Just I bought even like the small, you know, hardcover. Started reading it. Couldn't get into it. Downloaded the audio for what was out then. Couldn't get into it. This trailer, oh my god! And so I was then this guy up here above me says, "Dude, what if it's that?" And I was like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that.
Then we came up
with the Grisk, one of the two.
So I was like, "Dear God, please, yes."
Yeah. I mean, it could be the Grisk. It sort of makes sense in the time frame because I've been reading that Thrawn book.
Ascension.
Yeah, the last book of this new 3-book series. I haven't gotten through it yet, but you know, the timing sort of makes sense a little bit. You gotta, you know, you have to imagine Thrawn actually meets Anakin during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So you know. Right. It's the time frame is a little iffy because this would be obviously 50 years beforehand, but not to say that they couldn't be making an appearance somewhere, doing something in a, you know, in an unknown region of space that we're not familiar with.
Yeah.
How long do Chiss live? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
Oh no, I have no idea.
I think it's a fair, like a most of the same as humans because the Skywalkers like Cheery. They age in the same, you know, the same kind of time frame, and by the time they're, you know, 7 or 8 years old, they lose their ability for their third sight, and then so I think it's similar.
Yeah, much to humans, except some.
What?
But yeah.
So he should be in like his 50s or 60s around Ahsoka.
Yeah, he'd be older for sure. 100%. Well, it depends on when Ahsoka takes place, right? Because this would be, I guess, Rebels-ish? Little after Rebels?
Well, is Ahsoka taking place after...
Ahsoka does after Mando.
Ahsoka takes...
Yeah, it's like all during the Mando because they're supposed to like... isn't it like supposed to culminate... I can't talk. Yeah, into like a end game level like event
No,
for
it's
Star
supposed to be
Wars or
part of it,
something.
like at some point. Yeah, like it takes place after Mando, from my understanding.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I don't
look who
necessarily
it
like
is.
comparing it to that.
Oh
but
boy, I'm
What's
the
up, Felicity Poobale?
kill some young ones.
I actually don't know how to pronounce the last. Is it Powbell?
Poubelle?
Powbell?
Poubelle.
Poubelle, yeah.
Poubelle?
Poubelle.
Disney and
Poubelle.
Lucasfilm don't have a great track record with cancel culture. We need to stop trying people in court of public opinion. That said, wake me when the game actually hits the market for hype.
Yeah, it makes sense. I kind of
Dude,
somewhat
that's
agree with that to a point. Like,
That's Obsession keeps saying, like, why did you drop this so early? Why in the world would you drop this so early?
There wasn't enough information to go along with it, honestly.
well,
It was a tease.
they
But
had stuff on their website. I think because here's the thing, like games, they're developed over a long period of time. It takes years to do it, but they also need to generate hype because also they like the pre-order numbers. That's the big thing when it comes to a lot of games.
Yeah, but
Being sold like that. I mean, we don't like it as consumers for one reason or another, but that's literally part of the business model with them. For a lot of
if
different
your
reasons.
consumers don't like it, it shouldn't be part of the
I
model.
mean, here's the thing about it that I think she makes a good point, though, is like, as Star Wars fans, I think the majority of people that just care about Star Wars and just care about Star Wars content, they're not going to be paying attention to a lot of this stuff or any of the cancel culture stuff or anything on social media. They're just going to know that this thing is coming out. They're not going to know anything about Quantic Dream.
Think about Sonic. When they released that first trailer for the first Sonic movie, and everybody, how the fans reacted to the god awful, model of Sonic,
And they changed it.
And they changed it. So this will give them like
crazy.
a gauge on how receptive people are going to be to it, and then if they need to change something, they can.
I don't think they're going to drop
We're
David
gonna kill
Cage,
this
though.
youngling real quick. So
No.
Do it.
No.
slap ready. Get the slap
Do it.
ready.
Thank
Do
you.
it.
Damn.
Got him.
Kill them. Sorry.
Poobelle. Okay.
Poubelle. But yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything to David Cage, though, like with this reaction. Like somebody was telling me before, like as much as there's like a trending thing and you saw a lot of Star Wars content creators jumping on this for the attention, I think nothing's going to come of it, honestly.
Well, and that's part of the other thing, right? Is what gets you clicks? Reactionary videos, right? Like right off the bat.
Emotions.
People want confirmation bias or they want somebody to disagree with. It's one
Or
of
they
them.
want the truth.
Yeah.
But for real, like if this
dark side flow.
And for real though, like if this guy is being borderline a D-bag, that stuff should be brought to light.
Yeah.
But now if it is not, let's move on, please.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. True.
It's just we gotta take advantage of the times where we can catch these kind of scummy people, but we also gotta move past it and not try to bury every single person. Like
over everything. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I don't like that person, so I'm gonna say they did this thing.
Right.
It's just that I think that the majority of people, when it comes to that stuff, they're looking at it just to be part of the conversation with the group. They're not looking at it for the actual cause or whatever it is specifically that's a problem, because problem stuff should be removed. Like, let's be honest. I think we all could agree on that, as people. But like when it constantly is happening, it's over every little thing and it's over every project, it's over every situation. People start to be like, yo, what the hell? Like, I can't blame them or begrudge them for questioning stuff like that.
See, and this is the thing, dude. Justin says it right here. They won't be happy until he's Thanos snapped. It's a sport. And that's the thing. I didn't hear anything about Cage. Nothing.
I didn't know anything about
exactly.
Until this came out. And then now it's like.
And here's the thing. I bet you a lot of those people did play Detroit Become Human, because I know Detroit Become Human had a lot of good reception from a lot of people. And he was one of the people responsible for that game. Yeah. It's like, it's silly.
You know what? It's crazy too. This game's gonna be lit, and people don't look into that kind of stuff when it's a good game.
What?
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of games? What kind of games are those? Exactly.
Oh, those are like they're like a combination of RPG meets like action adventure with a little bit of point and click, like as far as like how it's inspired. That's how Beyond Two Souls and how Heavy Rain were. They're almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, because I haven't played any of those games.
They're great. The great storytelling games. They're phenomenal.
They're storytelling games.
Yeah, they're heavy on plot and dialogue.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I couldn't. Too many cutscenes. Someone was saying like you point the gun, but you don't necessarily ever always shoot the gun. It's like part of that. It's
Sometimes,
like
depends.
a telltale
No,
games,
not like Telltale though. That's the thing that people
but
confuse it,
aspects
though.
of it.
Like part of it, as far as
Yeah.
like it's not heavy action with interactivity. Like you're not playing
Right.
like Devil May Cry. I mean, when it comes to action, like there are action sequences where you're running or moving around, but it's
Mhm.
still much more the focus is on the drama and on the interactions and also the branching paths. That's the big thing that Quantic Dream games are really famous for, is that the permutations of what can happen in the story that change drastically based on your decisions and actions.
Well, that says a lot for replayability.
Yeah,
That's what I think
Yeah.
this game is going to be. I think you're
Yeah.
going to be able to play as multiple characters, and they all affect each person's story a different way. And you could probably have like, if there's 5 different characters, you can have 12 different 10 different endings. You know,
Sounds like Mass
That's how they are.
Effect.
so
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
It's
like
more
a combination
crazier.
of all that.
It's more crazier than Mass Effect with the amount of different outcomes you could get. Because like for example, Detroit Become Human has, I think it's about like 12 or 15 endings. Like there's
Oh
a
my
lot of different things
That's
based on all these different decisions you can make. But it's a lot, and it's really cool when you go through it, and then you go through it again, and it's like pretty radically different. It's
Goodbye,
really
my life.
You know what? I'm
Like,
starting to realize something too, and it's a good like steel man argument for the side of people that are frustrated with Disney, is like they're trying to be too big brained with this stuff. Like they're trying to give us like this mind-blowingly smart story, or what they think is a clever tell, and it's like you got to just get back to basics. You got to just.
I
get
think
back to
that's
the
what they did
basics.
with Mando. Mando,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
And it
that
worked.
Mando, they went all the way back to like the very basics of
They did their homework.
storytelling, visual storytelling. I mean, the first couple episodes, Mando only said like 6 lines,
Yeah.
and
right,
they couldn't even emote with his face because he has the helmet on all the time. So they're only using audio, the camera, and lighting and such.
Some music.
Yeah. Like I've always said, my favorite scene out of the first season of Mando was the one where he just dropped off Grogu and he's about to take off, and then he reaches for the lever and the ball's missing and he just stops.
Yes.
That's like perfect show don't tell moment right there. You know what I mean? Because even though he's not emoting, he is completely emoting. Because you can feel it.
Dude, that was one of my favorite moments in Mandalorian, when he reaches down and the ball's gone. I'm like, game on.
Yeah. And then, he just goes in and wrecks shop.
Nice little Batman Dark Knight homage where he does in season 1 and kills poor Matt Lantern.
I mean, yeah, it was, and that's epic storytelling right there. Basic, but epic, that, and
dude, I can't believe this stuff is PG-13. He like burned a guy alive. Like you hear him screaming. It's
got somebody in half the door.
Good.
Yeah, in the first 5 minutes.
Loved it.
Wild.
Sweet.
I bet the Disney execs were like, "You want to do what now?"
You can't see his emotion. He's in a mask. It's
Yeah.
Fine.
I can't see him
That way,
chopping him in
anyways.
half.
And it's an alien,
I keep going back to saying, I think a lot of us, because a lot of us Star Wars fans are older, we're the lifeblood of the fandom. We want to see more mature stories, but that doesn't mean it has to be R-rated. You can tell a mature story. Yeah, you can tell a mature story in PG-13 just fine.
And you know something? No cursing. That's the one thing Star Trek got wrong with Picard. There's no cursing in Star Wars right now, because I mean the closer we get is like Dan Farrick and what Mando does at one point. But if you look at that and compare it to what you see with like Star Trek Picard, it's a total night and day difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and the licensing for the games has been mishandled, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean now it's changed. Now we're gonna get more. We're going to get a lot more, which is cool, because we still don't know what Ubisoft's game is, and we're going to eventually, hopefully next year.
Wasn't there one studio that decided they weren't going to do a Star Wars game because the license cost too much?
That was the Battlefront team.
No, that was DICE.
Yeah,
that was DICE.
Something like that.
or Dice. Yeah, not EA, Dice.
Let me put it this way: it's going to be really cool that we don't know what Ubisoft's game is until next year, because we're going to have a variety of like different types of Star Wars IP or like Star Wars games with that IP stuff, and it's going to be exciting because they're all going to be radically
Who
different.
did the
types
first
of games.
Fallen Order?
Was it it was Respawn.
Okay.
Respawn that did it.
That wasn't EA.
Yeah, it was EA because they
EA.
own Respawn.
Okay, what if Fallen Order 2 goes over to that company?
Well, yeah,
the
that
Ubisoft company did Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
No, they're doing a massively open world game.
No, they're doing the open world, and all the stuff that was
isn't that what?
All the stuff that's by EA is going to stay within EA. So even though we're not going to get Battlefront, we're still going to get a Fallen Order 2 at one point. Right. But we're also getting Star Wars Hunters by that other team. We're getting whatever Ubisoft's game is. We're getting.
Now, when you say massively open world, isn't that what Assassin's Creed games are?
No. Open world is not the same as massive.
Well,
so we're talking MMO?
Kinda.
No. We're talking Division.
Is open world.
If you've ever played the Division, or if you ever played like
I have played the Division, that map's not there.
Okay,
Redemption.
The Division, like it's a big map, but it's not like a MMO where it's like a gigantic map and you got like multiple places you could go to like that.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder
Scrolls is an open world.
See, I'm batting 0 too, bro. I have no idea what that means. So anyway,
Elder Scrolls is an open world RPG.
Yeah, and like Fallen Order was multiple different maps.
Yeah.
Whereas like not Oblivion. Oh my God, where is my freaking brain right now?
Skyrim.
Thank you. Yeah, Skyrim or Breath of the Wild. Those would be like open world games.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think that game's gonna be like what the Division is, because that Ubisoft is known for making world games like either that or Assassin's Creed. But I think it would make more sense now with the license to do a bounty hunters game that's in the same vein as the Division, where you got like maybe a team or stuff you could do in the open world, kind of like that. That'd be sweet. Like when you really think about it. And the team they know how to do that. Their engine is dope for that type of stuff.
What if Bungie makes a Star Wars game?
If they did that, would it be restricted to like one planet, or would they have like one area on a bunch of different planets? Would you be able to
one giant area, one giant map?
Yeah, that's one thing. Like if it's an open world Star Wars RPG, I want to be able to get into a ship and fly.
And KOTOR then. Like, because that's the other one. We're getting Asper's KOTOR remake. That's the other one too.
Yeah, dude, I'm hyped for that.
There's a lot to get excited
all the games I want, we all need $3,000 computers to play. So
yeah, right.
I'm thinking more like, what was that? No, I mean like KOTOR. You can go to different planets. Yeah, but I'm talking like I want to actually fly between the planets.
Oh, like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, kind of like No Man's Sky, or like what's that game?
Star Citizen's another one.
Yeah, like with what's the one with Sora and
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
Cool.
Like the last one that like the last one that I played, you could build those little gummy ships and you had to go between the worlds.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Scale that up, let me build my own ship.
Actually, I built an X-wing gummy ship on that.
Nice.
Of course. Boy. You're just kissing my ass. Come on.
No, I built an X-wing. I built a TIE fighter. I built a Jedi Starfighter.
They said Star Wars couldn't be in Kingdom Hearts. Look what happened.
Yeah.
You would have the Keyblade.
Which one?
It'd be sweet. I'm excited because there's a lot of interesting stuff now that the exclusivity has ended with EA. It's going to open up it's going to be like back in the day when we had a whole world of possibilities where LucasArts was doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Dude, we were getting like 3 games a year from
like a lot of cool shit. Like really cool.
Yes. Yeah, I'm hopeful. This is going to be, like we keep saying, this is going to be the year of Star Wars. We have a lot to look forward to, back to back content with games coming out. Like,
oh man, Star Wars is gonna crush it this year, dude.
I hope
May is
so.
gonna be dope. May the 4th is gonna be amazing in 2022. Watch.
I hope so.
Dude, just be happy and thankful we got all this sort of awesome stuff now. Huh?
It's gonna be a Star Wars buffet, and by the end of the year, we're gonna be so fat. We're gonna be like, look, I don't have room for the pie, man.
Yeah, I'll have room for pie, but I will. If I'm sitting drinking beer all the time, I'm gonna be real fat by the end of this year. Yeah.
And then Ahsoka and all that's gonna come out, and you're gonna be like, okay, give me the pie.
Well, I would be Mando season 3, right? Because
Yeah.
we thought it was coming this year, but apparently now it wasn't in the sizzle reel, so we're not getting that till 2023.
Let's say they can take their time. Let them take their time. And they're good. Like as long as it's like that, I'm great.
I was talking to my dad today. We did a little Christmas because they're leaving, so I was in my hometown, and my dad's all pissed. He's like, "What? I don't want Book of Boba Fett. Give me that Mando season 3." I'm like, whatever. He's gonna see one trailer for it and just be like, "Yeah, okay, all right, that's cool."
I hope that someday we get to a world where these D23 events have the timeline of Disney projects and there's like question marks on them,
like
but
Marvel.
we know the dates exactly. Like, give us something.
They did
to
that
look
for Marvel back in the day.
That's exactly
I want that future for Star Wars.
That'd be cool.
They need that. That's on Lucasfilm to do that, or Lucasfilm's are really.
I would really like that.
I forgot about that.
Whatever happened to the Skywalker Saga Lego game?
It's
know.
coming out next year. Next year, it's still coming out. Like I saw that game at E3. I got to see a hands-off demo for it.
Yeah,
and it got delayed for a while. And I know it had
time.
to do for a number of different reasons that they're probably adding stuff to it. But that's coming out next year, for sure.
Well,
they're trying to hold off because they're gonna have like Ahsoka DLC
or Mando
Boba
stuff.
Fett. Like they're gonna have DLCs.
I would not be surprised. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Didn't they say January or did they say
No.
first quarter?
No, I think it's probably towards the spring. I got to look it up specifically, but I know it's not like when 2022 starts.
Okay. Damn it. Did they put those on computer? Can you get them on computer?
On PC, yeah. On Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lego games, yeah. You could get them everywhere, I think.
Nice.
So, with maybe the exception of Switch, because not all the Lego games are all on Switch. But like on PlayStation and Xbox, you could get them on there, I know. And PC.
Man, I'm looking forward to that. That boomer gaming is going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. I got a Nintendo Switch coming on Friday, and things are going to go down.
Nice.
Things
Any
are really
recommendations? Let me know.
I was about to say, don't wreck your TV, man.
Dude, the boomers are going to be going so hard.
I'm trash at Smash Bros.
Yeah, they're telling me. I mean, not to get too off topic here, but they're saying it's like way different than Nintendo 64 Smash. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
it is.
64 Smash, I will destroy
It's
all
night
of
and
you.
day, dude.
No,
Like,
Ghost Rider. No, that's
it's so much better.
I'll
bro.
destroy. I'll destroy.
Not a chance.
I'll destroy.
It'd be like
I'll destroy you all.
It'd be like standing behind the Falcon when it goes to hyperspace. Like you're done. You just
It made the castle run.
I'll Falcon punch you off that platform, bro.
Smack talk right now. Look at this.
Falcon punch. I ended so many hopes and dreams in that noise.
Oh, the memes.
Smash is fun. Smash is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I was watching videos on it, like trying to get some pre-hype, some pre-tutorials, and like there is so much new stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you realize there's almost like over 50 to 70 like characters in it. Like because the last character came out recently, which was Sora from Kingdom Hearts. That's the last one period for it, and that game is like ridiculous when it comes to content.
Isn't that the typical evolution of fighting games? I mean, look at Mortal Kombat. It started off with like 10 characters, and then it jumped up to like, and then you just had an entire sheet of paper.
You want me to tell you why? Because Smash is an anomaly. Smash is one of those games, specifically Smash, where not only is it cross-platform, cross-generational, and franchise, but with fighting games, traditional fighting games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and stuff, a lot of that stuff is figured out in pre-production. So they already know what the full roster is going to be by the time that happens. With Smash, this happens over years. Like we've had like 2 seasons of Smash content where it's like characters we never expected to show up are now in the freaking game. Like it's insane. Yeah. Like let me put it this way: I never thought that Sora in it. I never thought Sora was going to be in it because that's like a licensing nightmare. Somehow Sakurai did it. Like that guy's got like bragging rights for the next like.
So just put Star Wars characters in there, bro. Give me a Vader, Luke, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and like let's go.
You're thinking of Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
I know, dude. It'd be so much more fun in Smash Bros. Are you kidding me? Just lightsabers.
Geralt was in Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Soul Calibur 6. I'm sorry.
And Ezio, I think Ezio was
5.
in there.
Yeah, he was at 5.
Yeah, if you have questions about games, go to Jake.
Yeah.
I know games, man.
You are on it, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I mean, like,
of course.
I know a little bit about a lot, But I see like you guys are like specialized in this stuff.
Well, I love game. I've covered games for over 12 years now. I'm going on 12 years in January that I've written about games for a long time, and I just love talking about games, and I love especially Star Wars games because again, you all know I review Star Wars games. I just love getting engaged with them and stuff. It's just fun to me.
Yeah,
I'm a story guy. Like if it has to do with a story, I'm on it.
Word
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll end this with one quick question.
Ooh, ominous.
It's not very quick.
Okay.
It's a moral conundrum for me.
Uh-oh.
We got Luke back in Mando season 2, right? We also had Carrie Fisher in Rogue One and Tarkin in Rogue One. We know that Disney is going to start taking note of and putting in old characters in these shows. Is there a moral line that has to be drawn when it comes to taking actors who have passed away and putting them in these shows for profit?
That's up to the family of the deceased.
Yeah, they. I do remember something about this. One thing that I kind of remember something about. I remember when Rogue One was first coming out, and they were making the whole thing. They had to literally get the permission of like the fan. Wow, good job, Charlie. The family who were still like around like, hey, is this cool? And even back then George Lucas got them to like, hey, or hey, I know this little film that's based in Star Wars, it might be very good, so if something happens, is that okay?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my god, I love that stuff, dude.
Yeah. So somebody was in the chat was asking me what I was drinking, but it's Viking blood.
Yeah, Viking blood is really good stuff.
My cousin got a bottle of it. He gave it to me.
It's very sweet, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't think it'd be too horrible. I don't know. It just depends on what you would use it for or what you would do with it.
Agreed. I agree with Charlie on that because you know what it is. I think that as long as it serves a purpose in the story you're trying to tell and the stories you're trying to tell, as long as it's done tastefully. Like I felt Rogue One with Moff Tarkin was done tastefully. Even Carrie Fisher to extent. Luke was done tastefully. There's even talk now, the rumors with Han Solo coming in for Book of Boba Fett. As long as it's done tastefully and it's not gratuitous, then I'm good with it.
So what's gratuitous though? Is it
like if he's just there just to be in the background, just like hang out and just be like, yo, like hey guys,
if it's old man Alec Guinness walking through the Boba Fett.
Exactly. Like if it's like stupid like that, it's not part of the story, if he's not relevant because for whatever reason, like then I don't want that. I want the if Han Solo's gonna show up, I want him to be there, interact with Boba Fett for a reason. I don't want him to just be there to be there.
So is it 30 seconds? Is it a minute? Is it 5 minutes?
I don't think you can limit it by time. I think you limit it by story plot points.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Took the words out of my mouth. It's definitely has to do with if it is if it's significant to the story. It's like he was just saying, if it is relevant to what is the story that is being told, then however long he has to be in there is however long he has to be in there.
Right.
Just like Mando, the end of Mando season 2, Luke, he wasn't in there for very long, but he was in there long enough.
And it made sense for him to be there because who's the most powerful Jedi that Grogu could call in that time frame? It's like
exactly
that makes sense.
Poor Luke just hanging out doing his thing, gets a Force Skype. What? Really? People have not got the memo? People have not got the memo yet? Oh, for the love of God. Guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go take care of something.
Yo, would it have been funny if it was actually Plo Koon? Remember that it was supposed to be like Plo Koon?
Yeah, man.
I thought that was like a I thought that was like a red herring for people that were like investigating.
It was.
Yeah, they knew people were looking for stuff like that, man. They had to come up with a good one. So good old brilliant Dave Filoni was member. He was like, what if this? And then they even put the concept art and everything together. So just throw people off track. It was brilliant.
I would say there's no way that Plo Koon could have survived that crash until I watched The Rise of Skywalker. And then I'm like, yeah, he's probably fine.
Don't get that reference, but yes.
Hurled at like, I don't know, 34 G's and had his intestines splattered around the cockpit and then just gets out and walks.
He's like, no, guys, I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Luke. He's going around off finding his artifacts and such. He's about to grab a holocron, and in like his Star Wars Indiana Jones moment, and then all of a sudden Grogu, ring, 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 force call, and then he's like, oh shit.
Like,
and then
trying to read you about your vehicle's extended warranty.
Another hand.
Man. He has to he's within can't grab the holocron, he can't use a force for some odd whatever reason, and then he has to get in his X-wing and go save the day.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. Yeah. So Han Solo, that'd be pretty funny and cool and interesting at the same time, just because what was it last time he seen Boba Fett?
They got beef. They got real beef.
Yeah.
It was a pretty intense day. It's like, hey,
wouldn't it be cool
back in the day? It made it something like a blaster. Oh, by the way, we're good. I got a thing I gotta go do.
Wouldn't it be sweet if Boba's like, oh, listen, I know you did this to me, but out of respect for me, taking over the entire underworld, so I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you live.
The
so
fandom
I feel like that's something Boba would
light
do.
on fire. The fandom would burn to the ground if Boba Fett gave Luke a pass for what happened that day.
That wasn't Luke's fault. That was blind Han.
Yeah, that was blind Han.
He doesn't know that, though. He doesn't know that.
I think he does, because remember, he was about to shoot Luke.
Luke was on the sail barge.
It could have been a weak way, falling backwards. It could have been any old thing that happened.
Could have been Chewie.
Yeah.
Man.
But I mean, Luke cut his blaster in half.
Yeah.
He up his rope dart. I'm just saying,
Keep in mind, though, he was working for Boba. I mean, not for Jabba at the time. So now that he's not working for Jabba, I think he'd be like, you know what, whatever.
I think our boy Boba was just having a bad day. That
was a
bad day at the office.
Yeah.
He was just doing his thing, drinking his mahis and everything like that, and all of a sudden, was it Robot Chicken reference there, just drinking mahis? Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and everything. Okay, and then things went bad.
How it goes, man. It's not easy being a bounty hunter.
No. But come back bigger, faster, and stronger.
Well, we got off topic with the cameo thing. But
anyway,
I'm a little worried about it. The biggest thing for me is I just hope this doesn't become a plunder chest for Disney, and they start using the likenesses of these people for profit, which is what they're supposed to do. But I just don't want them to do it. If, like you said, if they're there for a reason and it impacts the story in a heavy way, then I want to see them there. Because that's what I think a lot of people were complaining about when it came to the sequel trilogy, is that they weren't respected. So if we can give them good, respectful reasons for existing in the story, I'm all for it.
I trust John and Dave. I feel like they got a good handling on how to do that.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. I can't do it.
And John and Dave, we trust.
I do. Yeah. Still do.
All right, boys. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I'm just happy to be here.
I agree with everything you guys just said.
May the force
talking with y'all.
May the force be with you.
I noticed Arlena sent something, and I may have got a hold of Sam Whitware to say something to her. And I sent it to you on your DM or something. If you want to show that off, she sent in the super chat earlier.
I did see that. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hold on. Man, this guy just knows everybody from the Hangar Bay. Okay, hold on.
I know nothing.
Okay, Jon Snow.
Charlie's got people.
Charlie do got people. Charlie got people. No doubt.
I cannot confirm or deny on that.
Charlie's people got people.
All right, what do we got? Oh, I hope I share. If you can't hear, let me know immediately.
Okay.
Hi. All right. Sam Whitwer here. Sam Whitwer. And Buster. Buster, can you say thank you for your service? Can you say
no?
I am a dog. I cannot talk.
That's what Buster said. Say it like that. What's happening? I understand that you are a fan of things like Smallville and Being Human and Star Wars and puppies. because puppies are sweet and they're very, very cute. Are you cute? Do you like birthdays? Are you my emotional support animal? You a good guy? I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but here, wait. There's another one. Should we show over there? And then it's Mr. Leonard. He's a birthday puppy. He's a good birthday puppy.
Why?
He's got a smash face. Right, Pooter? Yeah. You're like, what's going on? This is for a good cause, Mr. Leonard. We're wishing a happy birthday, darling. What do you think? Okay. Look sleepy if you think it's awesome. He thinks it's awesome. Anyway.
Such a geek.
Silliness is in some way entertaining. But thank you so much for, again, for your service, but also for supporting all these weird things. I understand that they helped you over the years, so I'm humbled to hear that. You've certainly helped us all. So anyway, happy birthday from puppies, and yes, do something fun, do something safe. Wear a mask, but do something super cool and awesome and fun. Like watch the Siege of Mandalore. I think I'm gonna do that. I haven't seen
Siege of Mandalore.
I think
Nice.
it's pretty cool. And you know what? Thank you to fans like you for giving us an opportunity to finish that story. That meant a lot to us because we're all big George Lucas fans. So, all right. Happy birthday. Bye.
That's cool.
That was awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, sorry about the echo. It's not going to get fixed for a while. Every time I share my audio, it does that because it runs through my microphone and it runs through the podcaster at the same time. I'll figure it out.
You're good.
Is there an echo in here? Yeah.
Yes.
Negative.
All right, guys. That's it for the Hangar Bay. May the force be with you as always. Remember, subscribe to Jake James Lugo if you're looking for fair and honest game reviews.
Thank you.
Never forget Hawks Holocron, one of the boomers, my good friend. Get over there and subscribe to the homie. Charlie Thomas, are you putting content out other than the awesome stuff that you do with the interviews?
I got more interviews inbound. I got more training Well, I got my Nick Gillard finally video coming out where I was training with him. That's going to be
Nice.
about a week away. So I got that, just me training and then teaching, and then more interviews with some maybe Star Wars people. So that's about all I got.
Well, this guy talks to more famous people than Robin Leach. So go check out Charlie's and then Ghost Rider. Give me a self promo, bro.
I like stories, and I hang out at the Hangar Bay.
Fair. That's fair. Fair, honestly.
No, if you can sometimes check me out on the Hooligans over on the Hooligans stream with Cash Money. Sometimes I hang out with Daryl and Darth Arlena on the VacTube. You know.
Yeah.
No, I'm a floater. I float around.
What can you say, man? Just hope you don't get flushed, right?
Yep, I try.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a better tomorrow. This is X-Wing. I will see you guys next time.
Later.